Welcome back to New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast for creatives. It is I, the mayor, Flobo Boyce, in the mayor's office, hanging out with great people. And my guest today is pretty dang great. Well, I don't know if it's from the comedy side or me being in the back of a hot Medusa Comedy show being like, I wish I was up there, but please give it up for Suwon Weaver. How you doing?
Hi, good to see you. I'm doing great. It's nice to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm doing okay too. Like I said, it was a long day, but that's the thing of the creative thing, trying to navigate the different tasks and things that need your attention,
Yes, we have to tend to the tasks and then do the creative work too.
Let's start with the most important question I have. What was breakfast this morning? Because I'm hungry.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, I live with my mom. I moved in with my mom after my dad passed away. Thank you. And also rent in LA is very expensive. Okay, I don't have to do my bits.
You can, because it's true.
That's just true.
She's saying what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But so what I do is I make my mom breakfast pretty much every morning. And I make one of two things. This morning I made scrambled eggs, sweet potatoes, chicken sausage. I mean, I'm just frying up the chicken sausage, but like chicken sausage sounds like I'm, working it with the casing and everything. And it's just, it's from Costco, but still, it's on the table.
Yeah, crack a dawn, just grinding away.
Yeah, right, exactly. With spices, and then I have avocado and a little bit of hot sauce. So that is what I make my mom. Today I made that for her, for both of us, and yesterday I made oatmeal. And when we do oatmeal, I do steel cut oats and put blueberries and have yogurt and ghee and honey, and I just make it like real nice.
When you make breakfast, is it time to like think about your day's plans? You come up with ideas and jokes, you sing songs, NPR? What's your vibe?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of make it light and fun. I do think about what I'm doing. The rest, like I'm always trying to work over my jokes and kind of, because it's like I'm never satisfied with it. Like I'm like how can I flesh it out more, or like this other thing that I want to say that I'm kind of scared to say, or is it going to be too weird, or that kind of stuff.
Well, how long have you been doing comedy, if you want me asking?
Yeah. Well, I say I've been doing it 3.5 years about.
Give it up.
Thank you. However, I really started about 14 years ago, and did it 2 years, but it was a start with classes, and I wasn't super grinding at that point. Yeah. And I stopped. I just dropped it. I felt like I didn't know myself, which was true, well enough. And I was too shy. And, sometimes I still have shyness pop up. But back then I was like, I can't.
I'm funny, but don't look over here. Stop.
Yeah, stop looking at me.
Yeah. So what got you back then? What made you go, oh, no, I'm not done here at all?
Oh gosh. Well, this is how I do things is healers tell me to do stuff, and then I go, okay, got it. And then I just do it. So this is how I got it. I mean, yeah. So I was seeing this healer. It's kind of like chiropractic work, but it's a little different than that. There's like some massage and readings and stuff is happening all at the same time. And this guy was like, you got to start doing comedy again. You got to get back to it. And somehow it just it went in. And then as soon as I said yes, I went and did an open mic. And then that was it. Like I just couldn't stop. It was I just felt compelled, and I knew I had more to, a lot more.
And what's that been like understanding the return? Because you walked away, you came back. It's like a second lease on life. How's this approach been different than your first approach?
Oh, totally different. Maybe because Me Too happened. I think that's like a big part of it, honestly. And there are a lot more women now in the comedy scene than there were at that time, like 2008, something like that, when I did it. And there was just more availability. Like I could go to earlier, sometimes for open mics, I was going out at, it was like the only thing I could find was really at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And, when you're going to open mics, it's not like they're not all necessarily the best.
Yeah. You're not going to go at 9. You might go at 1:30, 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of it is real rough, and it's just I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. So when you meet people, do you say, "Hi, I'm a comedian" first, or do you do other things as well? What's your line of slashes? How do you?
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm a comedian. That's who I am. I really am. But I did used to design clothing. I was a clothing designer for over 20 years.
You and Yeezy together collabing? Is that what's up? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right, exactly. I wish that'd be nice.
Yeah, how is that like though, being a clothes designer?
It sucked. It was terrible. I'm so happy. I mean, thank God that it's worked out that I'm fine having been laid off. I was laid off during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I just don't ever want to go back to it. I would say it's pretty thankless. I mean,
Right.
it wasn't fulfilling. Most of it is about managing. Most of it is about just kind of grinding. And I didn't feel creative. I didn't feel inspired. And maybe that was about me, but it just was. I just don't have a lot of friends who were in the clothing business who were inspired and thought it was great. Everybody just couldn't wait to get out. Like a lot of my good friends became interior designers. They were real creative people, and they
Right.
just, they were like, "Oh, that's it. We're done."
It's funny you mentioned the pandemic. I felt like it was like the snap in those Avengers movies. Like everyone had their own experience. It was a collective experience, surely, but everyone had their own experience about what their worth, their purpose in life, and things of that nature. What was it like for you when you were sitting home and locked in, or locked down, or locked up? I don't know, whatever. Locked X. How did you decide to push forward? What did you do to realize what was important? How'd you reshuffle that deck?
I feel very grateful that I got the time to wind down. I think it's what I'd been wanting. And maybe a lot of us had been asking for that, like inside, or asking the universe to like, I don't want this hustle. Like, how do I get out of it? Well, the world kind of did us a big favor, at least on my part.
Yeah.
And, as much as people were suffering and people were sick, and that was a little scary, of course. I felt so blessed to be at home and to feel very comfortable. And sure, because then I'm with my mom, and
Yeah.
there's some challenges, of course, with
Right.
an old Korean lady, and we don't always speak the same language.
That's a sitcom right there. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But and then also, like, I was with my partner, and we had broken up during the pandemic, and that was the
Oh,
thing.
I'm sorry to hear.
No, that was okay too.
Oh, that was great. Good to hear. I don't know. Ooh, awkward times. No, I feel like there's a little bit of survivor's remorse. It seems like, even though we understand that people were hurt and injured, those that had a creative shift or understand what they want to do, like myself, I was never a podcaster, but this pandemic put me in that direction. There is a bit of like, is it fair that I've found what I wanted to do during this like uncertain time? And I don't know how you did it, but to me, I always ask myself that question pretty often.
Yes, I know. I do feel very, well, I'm feeling so blessed. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but, but I do feel, very grateful that, I get the opportunity to, live here and do what I want and that kind of stuff. Like it feels good. It feels really nice. And then, also in the beginning, when we had the lockdown, I would go hiking and see families hiking. I would see dads with the kids and the like 4 or 5 people out or whatever, like out on the trails, which when did I see that? Never. I wouldn't even, you'd see a random person, like, but not with their whole family and kids out. And to me, I was like, I hope everyone is really taking this all in.
Yeah.
We're like, we've all had this opportunity. We're having an opportunity to actually shift. And I'm wasn't in a super big rush to have it go back, and just be like,
Right.
let me get back out there. No, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
We've shifted. Like, let's take this, let's do something with it.
So back to your performing. I mean, how has that been changed post-pandemic? Do you look for open air things? You just go, we're going back to where we're going. How often do you go? What's been the mix?
Both. I mean, I feel like for me, for producing shows, I do look for open air venues. I am looking for places that will do outdoors. And that's because a lot of people that come to the shows, I mean, are older and there's legitimate concerns. And so, you know, maybe as a comic, we're a little more willing to take a chance and be in the room. And, you know, a lot of people did get COVID. A lot of comics got COVID, and God, like, I feel very lucky I never got it, and I never had to bring it home to my mom or something like that. But, you know, people that were sick, I just thought, oh my God forbid that happen, you know? So
Yeah.
I took some precautions. I took a lot of precautions in the past, like where I'd wipe down mics all the time, bring little mic condoms, and try to be, you know, like keep that distance. But now I feel like I'm a little more willy-nilly, and that's not good.
I kind of the same boat. I mean, my mic stuff comes from the DJ side now, because even though I am a comic, I haven't got back, and I get made fun of from my friends for doing it, for not going back yet. But as a DJ, I had the wipes, I had everything else. I wear black gloves and handle the microphone, but now it's kind of like, it's weird. It's weird. We should get back on it, to be honest with you. But let's talk about the shows you produced, right? Hot Medusa Comedy. It's really much a brand, if I say so, here in Southern California. I mean, how's that journey been for you? Starting a show, seeing it grow, and all that.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Well, so I started out with a couple friends. I'm with Annegret, you know, she was part of it, and you know, the loveliest girl person. So sweet, right? So I started with Annegret and another comedian, Mary McKay, and so the three of, well, we actually started with 4, and then it went down to 3, and then for a while,
Destiny's Child. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then for a while it was just me and Mary, and it just has had different evolutions, I think, with different people being involved and maybe the vision. And then I think over the pandemic, everything's about the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, what do I say? Well, it's hard to say anything. Like, I don't want to be like controversial. So I'll just kind of say that we just decided to part ways.
Sure.
And, I like a lot of inclusivity. Not that Mary didn't. I'm sure she wanted everything. Like, it's like, this is very hard for me to talk about with it. Without
difference of opinion. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, I feel like I've got a really solid audience, and it's fun to do. And I love having all these great comedians from LA and beyond. And I did a ton of Zoom shows. You know, I did a lot. Like,
wow.
Yeah, so that was actually really cool. And I put them through Flappers just because that way it gave it a certain, you know, they sent out emails and made it seem like it was like a professional hosting platform.
Professional Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that does count. I mean, I've did a couple of Zoom shows. It's a different beast altogether. So I am totally in awe of those that able to do that deftly, because I floundered, because it's, I guess I want that feedback. Let me know if I suck. But if the screens are off and the mics are off, you're like, and the Zoom claps, the first time I got a Zoom clap, it tripped me out. For those who don't know, it's when they like unmute and mute the microphone so it blinks, and then you're just like, is that good? Is my computer fried? Like, I didn't know how to do that. So props for doing that for during the time when people want to comedy the most.
Yeah, thank you. You know, when it started out in the beginning, it was really hard because we didn't have it down. And then the delay, and if someone's talking, or the Zoom bombers, there's like so much to overcome. But at the same time, I'm like, look, why not just keep trying and make it better, you know, and keep doing it. Yeah. So I did. I persevered, and it made me write. I feel like it made me think. So, you know, otherwise I mean, I really could just have edibles and lay around all day. I really can.
Not bad, yeah, not a bad way to end the day. Sure.
And sometimes you just need to do that anyways. So that's okay.
Good point. You know? How do you see Hot Medusa growing now? It's this new iteration, the modern iteration. Where do you see it expanding or growing at all?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You know, I wish I could say as a producer that I could be like this major, like badass baller producer. But I honestly, I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, I like doing it. I'm not really, I don't know. I like doing it with other people. That was kind of like part of the fun. And then now that I'm doing it by myself, well, sure, I get all the yay for me, but I don't know. I don't know about the future of it. I do feel like it's a brand, and I do feel it's a cool thing. So it's not something I want to give up on, but I don't know what to do to make it, like push it forward.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend all my time producing. Like producing is its own thing.
Yes.
And I am a comic, and I feel like I'm a comedian first. So I don't want to lose anything. Not that I have so far, but I just, it's a lot to produce.
What's the name Hot Medusa mean?
Well, Medusa is from the Gorgon sisters. It's Greek mythology, and she turns the people to stone.
Just the guys, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that need to be.
Hey.
So, it just was kind of a fun spin to have hot on there. Like, just it's like fun and spicy, I guess.
Fair enough. I'm always curious about the origins of stories. We're talking about the origins of New Amsterdam before we went live, and there's always a cool, like, imagineering thing behind it. Let me know.
Yeah.
But,
and it was the three of us. So, like, it started out with well, we did have, I always say three, but we did have 4 women to start, but then it went to 3. And with the name and the sisters, and there were like the 3 Gorgon sisters or whatever, it just seemed like it was kind of very fitting.
Yeah, it's the merchandise alone ideas. I can think of those. Like, get myself a Medusa mug. It'd be great.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I need some Medusa kitchen magnets, so I gotta make that happen.
Coming soon. You heard it here first. It's coming soon. But you're also an actress, and I want to touch upon that just a little bit because I actually sat and watched Gentrification the other day.
Did?
Yeah, I did. Bachelor's interview. So talk to me about that and how that call was. So I was like, hey, look, short film pilot. We need you in there.
Oh my gosh.
Was it definite?
The main character, Crystal Bayer, is a good friend of mine. We were in acting classes years ago. And then, so she pulled me in on that project. They actually wrote it for her. The writer, producer, they were in love with her, and rightly so. She's adorable and so sweet. And she's trying to make things happen for herself. And then, she thought, oh, I would be perfect for this ball busting boss. And I had a lot of fun. It was a good part. I had a good time doing it.
What, was it like an instant? Oh, of course I could be ball busting. Or was like, you think that of me? Like, how did you? How were you pitching?
I'm like, yes, I can do it. Well, here's the thing about that. So
okay.
Sometimes in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm so soft. I can't. I'm just, I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, like,
right.
I don't know why I think that, because, I mean, sure, I'm not like just walking around like bulldozing people, but I'm also not only this little flower.
Right.
So sometimes, I don't know, I have these ideas in my head like, oh, I'm not type. Well, okay. Now I'm thinking of it, because I have had acting teachers that have said I was too soft. I had a very specific acting teacher. Back when I was starting out, like it was, same thing, like 2009, something like that. And he had yelled at me in class, "You're too soft."
Yeah.
And so once you get that, and another teacher had said, like, "You're not type A enough, you're too much of a beta. We need to get you into alpha." And so I just feel like sometimes these people misread me, or if it's at the end of the day, I've worked all day and now I'm in acting class. Well, I'm also tired, and maybe I'm a little soft right now.
Right.
So, but I don't necessarily roll like that. So I don't know. To me, it was not hard to play that part. I thought it was real fun.
So in your acting career, what kind of roles do you usually do? Or what are the ones you seek out? Like, what's the ones that make you go, oh man, I could totally sink my teeth into this?
Well, I do like parts like that, that maybe are opposite to how I think I am, or how people have told me I am. So I like really tough, like detectives or ball busters or leaders. I like those kind of roles. Yeah. And I think I like to play strong women, like, I just think that is that's fun, and maybe I can give it a spin that has depth of not just a one-dimensional strong woman thing, like that's a lot of times women end up, if you're tough, then that's I don't know, then there's not other sides. And I do like to play parts that you have a vulnerable side too. Because
All three
everybody,
dimensions. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a acting bucket list? Kind of like before I stop this thing, I want to do this, that,
Uh,
Marvel movie, I don't know, body on a horror film, like what?
well, I'm not too much into horror films. I did do a short film once, and it was a horror film, and they did like end up like, here we're gonna suffocate you with this bag over your head, and we're gonna, and you do all the stunt work, and I'm like, oh, this isn't cute. I don't like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
With any list of songs you want to do, roles you want to do?
I'm sure Marvel, yes, of course. Like, who doesn't want to do Marvel? Come
You'd
on.
be surprised. I'm like, oh no, I am a real actor. I'm a real thespian. I don't do Marvel films.
Oh no, I'm not real. I'm just give me that. Give me that. I'll take it any day.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I love a superhero thing. And
Yeah.
so if I could do, you know what? Also, I love the idea of like playing a mob boss, which I did in a short. It was in a web series called Get Spy, so it's on my IMDb also. And Get Spy, they had season 1 and season 2, and I got to play this mob boss, and it was real fun. Like that kind of a role, I think is like if I could get some new Kill Bill going or something like that.
Yeah. What kind of mob? Was it like running numbers? Was it like organized crime? Was it
It was
street
kind
crime?
of low budget organized crime. Super.
Okay. So all
Yeah.
off screen. Our operations are in trouble. What?
That's exactly.
Oh,
Well,
I
like
love it.
they were trying to steal some Russian spy, some I don't know, documents from Russian spies. Russian spies.
I gotta check this out. Get Spy is what it's called. Season 1
Yeah,
and season 2.
it was
I gotta check
fun.
it out. I'll check it out definitely after this one because I want to see the mob bossery of your work.
Yes, please.
If there's such a thing as an off day, how do you spend it?
Off day, like just you mean chilling out or something like
Yeah,
that?
nothing got to be done. No work. Just you being you.
I love a day at the beach. I love to like bring a little picnic and just, go in the water a little bit, lay around, just have it be so mellow, and the sound of the water, breathing in those negative ions or positive or whatever, whatever you're supposed to be. It's just so refreshing,
Can you teach me? Because I live 3 miles from the beach and I can't stand it.
What? No.
I just can't. The sand gets everywhere. It gets in your toes. It gets in your swim trunks. It gets in the car.
It's definitely about the sand for sure. But maybe what you need to do is go to a beach that has like the mountains right behind you, like backing you right up. So that way you kind of get into a little alcove, and you can, you jump in the water, and then it's not like sometimes I think if you're just at the beach and it's just only sand, it's too much. Like, I don't know. Like I need a little mountain. I need a little mountain behind me.
Yeah, heard that Huntington Beach? Too much.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe, Huntington Beach. Maybe it's because it's, I'm sorry.
Right. Hey, we put the E tag if you want to, I am not trying to filter you. But, I always ask that question because I feel like there's people that like make sure they unplug completely. There's those that say, no, I do like an active work or a passive work, or do like 2 hours a day. I didn't know how you approach that kind of thing.
Oh no, I'm so good at being mellow and doing nothing. I'm too good at that. I'm super good. I could go to a museum all day. I could not think about comedy, and then I'm in trouble because I need sometimes you need your brain to be like on and active and being like uncovering all of these nuances. And that's a different kind of a brain than the chill beach day brain. And I like the chill beach days.
And one is trying to do the other. How do you stop it? Like, let's say you're working and beach brain's like, yo, bro, it's been 2 months. Like, how do you go, shut up, beach brain? I got this thing to write.
Oh, I don't ever say shut up, beach brain.
Fair enough.
Maybe that's
now I feel like a jerk. I'm sorry, beach brain. I didn't mean to be so harsh.
Yeah, I know. Oh, beach brain, you're safe.
I gotta do a disclaimer before this episode drops. It's as we record this is October 2021, and We talked about the pandemic kind of being ending, hopefully, crossing fingers.
Yes.
What does the next year look like for you personally, professionally? I know you got Hot Medusa going, but any other things in the fire you want to mention or talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I keep getting booked on some really great shows. Like for instance, Nicole Denise has got, I'm on this great homie highlight show that's at the end of the month. It's October 29th and it's going to be on a Sunset Rooftop. I think that's going to be a great show. She's such a badass producer. I mean, there's a lot of women producers out there right now, like her, Mistress K, Maggie. She did this Jam in the Van. There were so many good comedians on it. So I feel like I've been really lucky that people have been wanting me to be on their shows, and I'm trying to put myself out there for those too. So more of those, and being with women who support and trying to create this great vibe and family and that kind of stuff. I like just supporting more people and getting supported, all that kind of good stuff. If I can get what I would really like to have happen for next year is like have some kind of like a special on Amazon. Like that would be like a really cool thing. So I don't know. I'm just putting it out there to the universe.
Sometimes you got to, sometimes you got to make that, you got to see the landing spot before you jump, right? And then find the target.
Yeah.
If someone's listening right now, and I'm a big fan of this, of like the mantras and maxims. My mind is always make your hometown proud. Do you have something you use to help you push forward, or you work on your projects, or taking the next step?
I don't have any particular one thing that I use. I've done some hypnosis, and I look at YouTube videos, and I'm always looking to have positive thoughts and have thoughts about putting myself out in the world in a way that like I'm about positive change, and bravery, because sometimes I'm putting myself out there, but like there's a line of bravery that I feel like where I want to go that I haven't quite gotten there yet. Like I'm slowly taking the baby steps towards it. So, more of that, but so, I don't know. What's the mantra? What is the mantra? I don't know. I don't really have one. I don't want to just make it up for right now.
No, that's right. Sometimes you don't have it. Gotta be real and true to yourself. So if you're listening right now, be true to yourself. I totally co-opted that. I apologize. That's two things I messed up with today.
It's like, no.
I appreciate you being on the show, just hanging out here, seeing your method, your craft, your process. Hot Medusa's doing big things. I want to be on the show, probably in the back, looking over like, I know that person. But if anyone want to connect with you, contact you, social media, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, social media. Instagram's the best. I mean, you can look me up under my name at Suwon Weaver. You can also look at Hot Medusa Comedy Show and but under my name is like really where I have like stuff that's like happening for me right now. So yay.